5.
Hand me that green.
4.
Give it rush.
3.
I'm right towards you.
2. 1. Your time has expired.
Time. Woo! Double it. Finish.
I think we went wrong with what we designed, and it was just overly ambitious, and we bit off more than we could chew. But the pieces that are on there are really well crafted, and I'm hoping that's enough.
Team Sweet Heat, Consuela, could you tell us about your food creation and your Daredevil display?
We've got our motorcycle Daredevil, our cannon Daredevil, and our high wire Daredevil. And we thought that we'd put a little spin on it and make them all clumsy. We decided that we'd make the dog the hero of the day. So the motorcyclist has fallen off and the dog jumped from the sidecar onto the bike and he's riding that bike into victory and he's saving the day.
I made you guys a red chili creme caramel with a cashew cayenne pepper chili brittle and a red chili raspberry coulis.
I did all the steel work here. I did all my pieces out of steel rod, steel mesh, and sheet steel.
Perfect. Okay, so it's fire time.
All right.
Wow.
Very nice.
P-shape.
I love the story. I love the idea of the sidekick being the superhero. The dog is very motion-like. I can feel the dog just jumping on and like riding off into infinity. I'm a big fan of flan and creme caramel. I wish the flan had a more velvety texture that perhaps you should have strained it.
I think you guys really took the extra mile. I think it's ingenious how you put the treat in the display sign. That's really, really cute.
Nate.
You know, I'm a motorcycle guy. I've literally done jump shows where we're jumping with fireworks going off on the takeoff and landing, and there's people getting shot out of cannons. I mean, this is what I've lived, so I like it.
Thank you very much, and thank you to you, Team Sweet Heat. Team Sugar High, tell us about your Daredevil creation.
We have created Sugaropolis, a sweet city where tonight's show is extreme base jumping. We have our big base jumper here in the front. He just jumped off of this great big building. And moving up to our first twist is our base jumper. He's a little new. He's the sidekick to our big guy. Things didn't quite go as planned, and he got a little wrapped around the top.
I've created a skyline city backdrop to Sugaropolis made out of chocolate buildings, skyscrapers, and colorful chocolate windows. For the food twist, I went ahead with my hand-painted chocolate bonbons, and I created a layered interior of mango ginger preserves and dark chocolate habanero ganache.
And what about the fire?
I did the fireworks. Let's turn on the fireworks.
Let it up.
Oh, there we go.
Your chocolate work is beautiful and delicate at the same time, and your cake work is flawless. Your treat, I think, is one of the best things I've had on Sugar Dome so far. It was so beautifully made. I'm not a fan of mango, so for me to love it like I loved it says a lot, and it's not easy to do that with a bonbon.
I like how focused this theme is. On Sugar Dome, there's always a twist that's really like puts you over the edge. And in this particular case, you guys didn't seem to be that bothered by it. You know, the treat is really lovely. The chocolate work is absolutely beautiful. The flavor is really balanced, and I love how thin the shell was. One of the best I've seen here on Sugar Dome and even outside of Sugar Dome. Some of the things that I wasn't sure about was I wish the skydiver moved so that there's some kind of motion. The firework didn't really seem like firework to me. Brought life to it, but not that much more. And the sidekick is a little small. It took me a while to figure out what the sidekick actually is. But overall, I'm really quite impressed with it.
Yeah, it's great. I like the guy throwing up the horns. I mean, the industry I'm in, everyone does this. I like how the big skydiver and his sidekick have matching kits on, the blue and the black. It's nice attention to detail.
Thank you very much indeed, Team Sugar High. Team Sugarators, Emily, you're the cake artist. Tell us about your creation.
Originally, we were gonna do a sword solver, but things weren't going our way, so we decided to just use our sidekick, make him a sidekick.
What happened? You just realized that you weren't having enough time?
We weren't used to working with metal, so nothing was sticking, and towards the end, we just weren't happy with the look of it, so we decided to just go with something more simple, but something we thought reflected our work better.
Fair enough. Perry, what did you create for this food display?
The steel pyramid. I welded the ball to it, and I fabricated the stainless steel sword.
For the tasting element, I decided to go with a habanero cinnamon ganache with passion fruit.
One of the twists we asked you for was fire. So do you have fire?
We do.
Paulette. Colette.
Well, your station obviously had a lot of drama today. The dog is beautiful. You clearly have some strong, strong talents. My heart broke for you. But coming to a competition and knowing you have the 6 hours, you guys definitely could have planned a little bit better.
Daniel, I want to applaud you for the flavor of the treat, because when you said habanero and passion fruit, I taste exactly that. Emily, you clearly have talent here. Did you consider a smaller size? I don't understand why it was so big before.
We should have done it much smaller.
And I think trying to adhere cake on metal with buttercream was just not a wise choice.
Nate, things do go wrong when you're involved in stunts and so on.
I know how it goes. I can tell you guys have mad skill. That dog is perfect, the little chickie on top. I think it's great, but I just tell it didn't come together for you guys today, but you have my respect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, judges. Teams, the judges need a moment to consider your daredevils and determine a champion.
We have a lot of really good qualities on both displays, and it could be anybody's game right now.
I was so happy with how it turned out. We want to be the Sugar Dome champions, and the money doesn't hurt.
Well, the teams gave us some amazing Daredevil displays. So let's start with Team Sweet Heat.
They really encompass the Daredevil theme, I think.
It's fun, it's explosive. It's got the dog and the sidekick and the guy falling out. It's got the guy coming out of the canyon. It's got the man on wire. It has so much going on. It's clear, it's precise, it's cohesive. They got a lot of use out of their metal worker. This looks like a professional job you'd see driving along the highway, but I would have liked to have seen more chocolate work from the chocolatier.
There is a lot of it, actually, when you look into the chocolate-covered cake that's on the board, and then you have the figures which are made of chocolate. Perhaps it's just not refined. You know, what comes across to me is that they're really whimsical. And
It's very playful
Yeah,
and
they almost
fun.
look like toys, and, you know, it really matches with the rest of the theme here, the cake and the sugar.
But the thing that bothered me is coming to the Sugar Dome and serving creme caramel that is curdled. It was so granule.
It's a sad mess, unfortunately.
I love how they use brown sugar in the sheets of chocolate to make the dirt. The dog's saving the day, his tongue sticking out. I mean, the guy's flying through the cake head first out of the canyon. There's just so much attention to detail.
Let's move now to Team Sugar High.
I think that each specialist in this team did such a great job, and it all came together very, very well.
Yes, I do agree on that.
Her bonbons is one of the best bonbons I've ever had in my life.
And Rebecca's welding job is just beautiful. The firework looks like firework, and it's really woven well into the theme here.
And into the high tower, like I think that's so reminiscent of Singapore.
It does remind me of Metropolis. But here in Sugar Dome, when we ask them to come and compete, they've got to deliver in all aspects. It took me a while to see the sidekick. It's kind of small.
I think it's adorable. The sidekicks just fell onto the building. He's holding on for dear life. He's got a sense of humor. I love that they put that fun into it. And I love that they have the sky jumpers. They're in air. It's fluidity. It's motion. It's right there. I love it.
I just don't see the motion. Like, I feel like it could move.
Do you not see them jumping off the building like that?
No.
Well, let's ask the Daredevil. What do you think?
I think the sidekick is a little small, but he's got the same kit on as the main skydiver up front, throwing up the rock-on symbol, so it was fairly easy for me to, you know, put that together. They just had very good attention to detail on one straight theme all the way through.
Okay, let's move on now to talk about Team Sugar Raters.
To see it just fall repeatedly. As a cake artist, my heart went to her. But with that said, she should have full well known, trying to adhere cake up against that metal, it was asking for trouble.
Do you think they made the right decision to actually abandon where they got to and start again, or at least try and salvage what they could?
They put up this pretty cool display piece. I mean, it looks very modern, very contemporary. The dog is beautiful.
The dog is beautiful, and you know, for her to capture the expression on the dog with those sad puppy eyes is just really amazing.
The dog is sad because the person had to go away.
Did you like the treats?
I think the chocolatier was in a bind as well, like the rest of the team. He had to whip something together quick. The metal works okay, it just doesn't tie into anything, and one of the main things is being a Daredevil myself, the Daredevil theme just isn't there. We know they got skill. I mean, look at that dog, and they whipped up the sidekick, the little birdie there. He's great. He's got the chocolate sticking out the side of his mouth. Maybe if they had another 6 hours, a second chance, they could pull something off equivalent of the other two teams, but that's just unfortunate.
I'm terribly sorry that our teams have made it so difficult for you to determine a champion, but we do need a winner. It is time for you to start thinking about who that winner should be. There was no doubt that with a challenge like Daredevil Stunts, each team was going to have to put forth their boldest and most ambitious work if they wanted to have any chance of coming out on top. Team Sugarators, I'm sorry to say the time has come to leave the dome.
Thank you. So at this point, I'm just destroyed. I think we bit off more than we could chew.
Now we're down to 2. Sweet Heat. Every aspect of your trio of Daredevils was filled with such playful detail that it immediately made the judges say, wow. Sugar High, your collection of base jumpers set against a fiery chocolate skyline and an impressive fondant Daredevil amazed the judges. But the winner tonight truly captured the dangerous, fun-loving spirit of the Daredevil, and that is what blew away the judges. And so, today's winner and the team taking home the $15,000 is Team Sweet Heat.
When we realized that we won, we were stunned. We were so ecstatic. We worked so well together, and we had a terrific time doing it.
I think our displays were really evenly matched. I just think that they probably had more of a Daredevil theme to theirs.
I think that's us. I'm trying to remember what our
Team Sweet Heat, please take your rightful place on the champions podium.
This competition drains you emotionally and physically, but it gives you such a high at the end of it because it's just an amazing feat to accomplish. Sugar Dome totally kicked our ass, but we came out on top.